What's happening? Hit that like, everybody. We're about to get started. Okay, we're about to get started. Hit that like. Share the show. All right, let's jump straight into the chat room. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the show. It's Hal Sparks Megaworldwiide, the greatest live stream in the history of live streams. You're welcome. Yes, is it better than Candace Owens Spaces? In content, certainly. Not in drama, I guess. I'm very short on drama these days. I suppose it's something I should work on. It seems to work in gathering viewers. You know what I mean? When people are panicked and there's a lot of infighting on your own side, boy, that draws the viewers, doesn't it? For a while, I guess, and then eventually they tap out and go back to smoking whatever they're smoking. But I guess we're at some level of Pete Hegseth-y, smoke them if you got them, or drink it if it's already had the cap twisted. What's going on? C4 Miles, there you go. There you go. Thank you very much. Can I start with a little update, if I will? Since Donald Trump turned the Department of Defense into the Department of War, I don't know if you know this, but we have peace in the Middle East for the first time in 3,000 years. That is, if you don't count us bombing Iran and the fact that Iran has declared war on the United States, and that there are protests in the streets of Iran, largely about the price of groceries and fuel costs and that kind of stuff, kind of standard economic upheaval that will, very possibly, this is the sixth bite at this apple, could possibly overturn the regime, maybe one day. But I'll see if I need to find the Truth Sinkhole post. Let's see, Truth post Trump Iran protesters, something like that. Yes, this is. I love how the New York Times put this. Trump says U.S. is locked and loaded if Iran kills protesters. This would be the. Let me move this down here because I move stuff around when I'm doing the morning show, and then everything gets a little cattywampus. One of these days, I'll unify all of these scenes so that I don't have to do. All right, whatever. Trump says U.S. is locked and loaded if Iran kills protesters. Real quick, Iran has killed protesters. This is the sixth day of protests. Bazaar merchants and students have taken to the streets and are doing anti-government chants. There are, the IRGC and the security forces there are using tear gas and bullets and everything in their repertoire, I suppose. But the demonstrations that are happening are both economic and political, and I think they're kind of fundamentally tied, rather. And the obviously there's some pressure from sanctions that have been going on for a very long time, internalized corruption, and I would say stack all that shit all you want, but they have a water shortage as well. Let me look that up for you for a second. Yeah, so this, let me show you what he wrote first about this, and then we'll get to that. This is, I guess, footage of this. They're probably going to run an ad, right?
It's very easy to make.
Oh, I'm not going to watch a fucking ad on this. Okay, show full article. Here we go. I wanted to see these. If Iran violently kills protesters, which is their custom, the United States of America will come to the rescue, Trump said and posted on Truth Social. He said if they shots the person, the Iranian protesters, if they shots, yeah, I hate when the New York Times like covers for this dickhead and like cleans up his language. Let's see, Truth Social post. Yeah. See if I want a direct quote at this of this early March. Here it is. Early March. Trump warns it. Yeah, here you go. This is the actual text of it. 1 second, because it's hilarious. Go away. Click on here. There you go, reader. Thank you. This is the if Iran shots and violently kills. If Iran shots and violently kills peaceful protesters, if Iran shots or even sharts and violently kills peaceful protesters, which is their custom, the United States of America will come to their rescue. Iran's, or we're kind of in pronoun hell here, but we are locked and loaded and ready to go. Thank you for your attention to this matter, which is like, again, it sounds like something he's dropping in a complaint box, like he's Uber Karen. But it should come as no surprise that he was threatening that if Iran shots anyone, that we're locked and loaded and ready to go, and we're going to go at any second. Spoiler alert, they shot somebody already. They shot lots of somebodies already, and they will continue to shots people for the foreseeable future. Good Lord. Okay. Also, can I just say for the record, maggots, congrats. So much for your whole, like, he's going to get us out of all these foreign wars, right? We did have a deal with these assholes. They're assholes, but it's a sovereign country, and we're not about to take it over as the 51st state, are we? Have we bypassed Canada entirely, and we're just going to take over Iran? Probably. Actually, that's not true. It'll probably be the 52nd state after Venezuela. So, while Iran is sharding itself, if you'll notice, Trump has not talked about the Sudanese civil war. He's almost as quiet about the Sudanese civil war as the pro-Palestinian people are. It's interesting. Like, what is it? There were as many people killed in the entirety of the war in Gaza, in a week in Sudan. Yeah. They're wiping out 60, 70,000 people in about 10 days. The RSF, the Rapid Support Force, which was originally called the Rapid Strike Force, but now they're trying to appeal to the international community by changing their name, but still striking, which is fucking odd. And the Sudanese Armed Forces, which is the official army of Sudan, which is, by the way, the entire war is a pissing contest between two generals about who would control the fucking dump. And by that I mean not the country, but the government, and the capital of it. And let's see if they, like, there are two places in this. I don't want to get, here it is. There you go. And Trump's buddies in Qatar and the UAE are the folks behind all of this shit. It's interesting. I can't these. Yeah, this is Qadir Idris and Manawi, the governor of Darfur, who's like all his people are on the verge of being wiped out again. This is the head of the RSF, Gallo, and then like his deputy commander, and then these are the guys in the UAE who are funding the whole fucking thing. Nobody in the pro-Palestinian movement, Free Palestine, genocide crowd, are saying a fucking word about any of this. And so to those people, hey, criticizing the Israeli government doesn't mean you're anti-Semitic, and wanting the Palestinians to have their own state doesn't mean you're anti-Semitic. I completely agree. But that ain't these folks. Because if it was just the abstract of innocent people being killed in a genocide, these fuckers are actively pushing a genocide. There is the Sudanese armed forces are an Arab group, and by and large, they are trying to push the RSF, which is a by and large black group, out of their own country. That's the power shift that's been going on for quite some time. This is Arab versus what is effectively the sub-Saharan population of the country. It's a racial war for all practical purposes. It's just hideous. It's been ongoing, and Trump isn't going anywhere near talking about ending it. Notice that's not one of the ones he's bringing up. Like, there's no point where he's gone, you know what, I'm gonna put an end to this war. He's Rwanda and fucking Congo, which is military, like militia groups fighting around a border region, which is really fucking porous, and saying he brought it to a close, which, by the way, they're continuing to kill people there. It didn't come to a close. But even claiming that he's done it is just, it's a farce, but B, there hasn't been active fighting between those countries this whole time in years. Again, these are like paramilitary groups fighting around this border region. But there's an active war going on in Sudan, and not a fucking peep out of this White House. And there's not going to be one. You know why? Because they're just waiting to see who the winner is, and they'll side with them. Because might makes right. Black. Meanwhile, the Russian economy is taking a giant dump. They had shifted to a wartime economy for this to stimulate it and pad the growth, but it is that fund basically ran out about a week ago. Their war fund that they had built up leading into this shit, and that they'd been kind of like rejuicing every so often by seizing the wealth of certain oligarchs and the like. That's done. They're out of that. So now they're back to their sort of regular economic system for all practical purposes, and they're relying on the Chinese yuan and the payment system that underlies WeChat to pay for shit. It's ridiculous. And then of course, all we're getting out of China is BS. But there's almost as much. I mean, it's not certainly per capita, but there's almost as much violence on the streets in China as there is in Iran. I would say there's more, but because of the difference in populations, it doesn't seem as much. But there's a struggle going on in the CCP about who's going to be Xi Jinping's successor, and it's probably going to be Zhang Youxia if it isn't already. And when that happens, the relationship with Russia is going to cadaver in an afternoon, because they got nothing to base this relationship on if they don't have just kind of this like glad handing, powerful guys patting each other on the back. So there's, one of the biggest things in here is, let me see if I can find this for you. There we go. I can type. Hold on. Let's see. Yeah, here you go. It's from Jill. Okay, accept all. I don't care. This is what you're not going to really hear in the process of all this. That while the price of goods is absolutely through the roof, I think 40% rise in the cost of goods in just a matter of a month. The biggest thing in Iran is there is a ferocious water crisis. if you know how at one point everybody was saying there's going to be water wars, that will be the big point of conflict in the world at some point, that you'll be fighting over fresh water sources and yada yada yada, which is, by the way, externally outside of, between countries is going to happen very little, except for like small countries attached at the hip, like Iran and Iraq, who've had some dust ups over water. But like worldwide, that's not how it's going to. It's most of those water wars are going to happen internally in countries over who gets access. So, yeah. So Iran is kind of, this is from Geopolitical Monitor, but it's pretty standard. Iran is confronting an unprecedented water crisis. Rivers that have sustained settlements and agriculture for centuries are drying, while groundwater reserves are being extracted far beyond natural replenishment. Over 70% of major aquifers are considered overdrawn, according to Issa Bozarzadeh, spokesperson for Iran's water industry. Many plains and reservoirs have reached critically low levels. Over the past 2 decades, the country's renewable water resources have declined by more than a third, pushing Iran to the brink of absolute water scarcity. Look at that phrase. Absolute water scarcity. Just, okay. So the idea that this is just about economic stuff or even about the sanctions is absurd. Yeah, we should get Trump to go in there and turn on the big valve for them. That's exactly right. This planet is 75% water. We have engineering more affordable solutions. Distant galaxy, you're exactly right. And that's exactly why the water wars externally will never happen. Because you want to fight a war for fresh water, that water is all fought in the technology realm. It is in developing ways to retain and get water that, through natural sources. Now, when your country is like 75% Sahara level desert, it's a little trickier, right? But if you're going to declare war on the process, you're going to lose fewer people. You're going to use fewer resources if you just build the processing plants and just feed the water into the country. So, anyways, that's just since the president of peace arrived. Now, this is really weird, this clip I'm about to show you, because this was posted 4 hours ago. This clip from Schlock-utainment from Peanut Butter Dickhead. When he was interviewing, I was like, wow, he did a new interview with Trump, a new multi-hour interview, because that's how they always do these things, right? A couple hours. So when did this happen? Well, it happened during the campaign. This is an old clip. And Peanut Butter Dickhead is pulling this clip like it's impressive. He's posting this shit like... Well, you'll see. Look at the content. And there's one particular part of it that, because I remember this, if it's the whole thing that you got. But anyway, the title of this is, "This Ends Very Badly for Iran. Trump Warns Iran as Unrest Fuels Khamenei's Regime Collapse." But this is 4 hours ago. And this goes, as tensions with Iran resurface, this older clip hits harder than ever. Well, yeah, in a bunch of ways.
The only thing for me is that I would be curious to know how the administration is going to take it. You have to impose tariffs on a country that's bullying. For example, I love what you did with Iran when you put the sanctions. I'm in Monaco, June 20th.
By the way, he didn't put the sanctions. There have been sanctions on Iran forever. He put the sanctions back on because he scuttled the deal.
6th of 2019. It's my 10-year anniversary. We're there with my wife. We're laying by Carlton Hotel, I think it's in Cannes, and having the, award-winning lobster roll, whatever they claim there. And
yeah, it's a really good idea, by the way, to open the clip with a thing about you bragging about your millionaire lifestyle right now under Trump's economy.
I meet this guy, Middle Eastern guy. He comes in, he says, "Hey, Patrick, how are you?" We start talking. I said, "What do you do?" He says, "Well, I'm a pretty powerful guy."
I don't know if you know this, but I'm a pretty important person. I have many leather-bound books. Did he tell you have an absolutely spectacular hiney?
I said, really? Yeah.
I want to be friends with it.
He says, here, Google me. So I go on, I'm like, oh, interesting. I said, I'm curious. So you manage what? He says, 21 countries in the Middle East. I'm the one that says who gets to do business banking with Iran and none. I said, what did Trump's sanctions on Iran do?
Also, does he work at the UN? And if this guy's that big, why not name him?
He says, let's go in the middle of the ocean and talk. And you have to set your phone aside. I'll never forget this. So we go in the middle of the ocean, standing out there having a conversation. And wives are talking. We're over there.
Two grown men in their bathing suits standing in the water having a conversation so that neither of them is wearing a wire. Or maybe they just needed some me time. Hard to say.
He says, everybody, if you can pull up, that's the one. Is that what it is? Here's the economic growth in Iran. If you look at that, 15, 16 nuclear deal implemented, sanctions lifted. Then it's 18, 19.
Yeah, but look at fucking 12 and 13. Also, this is up from that. It's flatlined 8 and 9. So 0. Again, are they even tracking it? There is no fucking way that during 2008 into 2009 that Iran had economic growth during that period of time when the rest of the economy was taking a shit, considering how much they hide their money everywhere else. Are you out of your mind? They just didn't report it because it's down here. Fuck. And then it's back in 2015, and then Trump gets in, ha-bing! And then it lowers down to here because the sanctions had been off. So they come up to it like what's effectively normal in response to this stuff. Again, relative. And then they tank over here.
They're being decimated. I mean, these guys are getting destroyed.
They wanted to make a deal.
They wanted to make a
They still wanted to make a deal. They were going to within 2 weeks. I mean, I decided not to because fuck America. I was so mad that I lost that I was like, screw this place.
deal. Then
They
you
had to
come
make a deal.
in, and then Biden comes in.
It's like Trump was already falling asleep at this fucking thing last year.
Obviously, things change right afterwards. So for this time around with Iran, with everything that's going on with sanctions, there is a method to the madness. Remember
What a
back
chart.
in the days, you put that
Can
thing
you
on.
send me that chart? Look at that.
This?
They wanted to make a deal. I'm not looking to hurt Iran. They wanted to make a deal because
Well, you should be. I mean, as far as the regime goes, I mean, say I'm not looking to hurt the people of Iran. They should make a deal. Blah blah blah. They want to make a deal, but there is a distinction between the government and the people, right? I guess not. This dude is friends with MBS. You think he's gonna worry about what fucking Khomeini does to his own people?
told China, if you buy 1 barrel of oil, you're not ever doing business in the United States again. They said.
Also, by the way, he gave South Korea a special allowance to buy Iranian oil, and they bought 6 billion barrels of it, $6 billion worth of barrels worth of oil, and then froze that money with the new sanctions because the Congress caught Trump doing this and went, knock it the fuck off. And so the money sat there in the account, and Biden, that $6 billion for the hostages, that's where that $6 billion was coming from. Not from the United States, but because it was Iran's money for oil they had sold to South Korea. We're going to release that money if they release the hostages. And then what happened with Biden? Anybody remember? They released the hostages, and Biden went, psych. Now we're keeping it. Screw you.
Will pass to Iran. They passed. Nobody was buying from
Are you
Iran.
going to bring this back, the strategy back with Iran?
Different strategies. It all depends. Very fertile mind, different strategies. But
He means he has a very fertile mind. I'm not going to do the thing you're saying it worked like magic. I'm going to do something else. I've got a whole new thing. It's called have Don Jr. make a crypto deal with these guys under the table.
but they're very close to having a nuclear weapon.
By the way, did you see any of those people who ran that loop of fucking Bibi Netanyahu saying it, but somehow were on Trump's side about this? Said it almost as much, if not more.
You have to understand, I didn't want much. All I wanted is you can never have a nuclear weapon. I didn't want much. I wanted Iran to be very successful. I just don't want them to have a nuclear weapon.
Right.
Because that's the real threat. The real threat isn't global warming. The real
It's something he said on the show. It's nuclear warming.
threat is nuclear warming.
Right. Yeah. He said this a bunch or whatever. Like okay. There's a difference between a long-term crisis and a short-term emergency, and every short-term emergency is more important than a long-term crisis because you have to solve that thing. Heart attack is more severe and acute than being overweight and needing to work out.
Okay, that's the real warming. Because I'm the one that rebuilt our military. I rebuilt the whole military, and part of what I rebuilt is the nuclear. And I hated to do it, but we had to because China has it, Russia has it, et cetera.
We maintain it all the time. I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. Like I've every time he talked about this, it sounded like he added a new marble backsplash to all the silos.
But I know more about nuclear than anybody because
except how it works, where it is, what it's for. He's like, I know more about anybody because the damage.
And I can just only tell you this: the power is obliteration. Okay.
Okay. Yes, I that's amazing. Have you told the nuclear scientists? I don't think they know.
It's not. I always say it's not two army tanks running around.
What's going to happen to Iran with you by the end of your administration?
No, PBD, stop interrupting him and trying to soften the blow of just how fucking stupid he sounds.
I'm not asking
I would like to
tactics,
see Iran be very successful. The only thing is they can't have a nuclear weapon.
Are you okay with the same administration?
Also, you want them to be very successful, what? With their proxies, like Hezbollah and Hamas and the Houthis and that kind of stuff? You just want them to do all that, but without a nuke.
And way of governing stays, or would you like to see it go back to the 70s when Shah's was running it and Iran was one of the top 3 countries in tourism?
We can't get totally involved in all. We can't run.
We're not going to help them get back to some sort of civil environment. We're not going to that kind of stuff. All I want them to do is have no nukes so that Israel can threaten them with a nuclear bomb anytime they want, and they've got no recourse. I mean, that's logical, right?
Ourselves. Let's face it.
Sure.
Patrick, we can't run ourselves.
You put sanctions, they don't have, the people are going to turn and flip on them. It's not going to be
this is the part I think he thinks is slapping right now.
I think if you would have
when I handed it over.
By the way, hi Labrats fans on Instagram. I'm not ignoring you. I have another job to do here, but there might be something in the works. That's all I'm going to say.
I told them, right now, make a deal with Iran. They'll do anything. They want to make a deal with me.
Then why didn't they, dum-dum? They didn't. They didn't even come. They've declared war on you this time. They never did. He always said this. They were ready to make a deal. I could have made the deal if the election had gone a different way. What'd you think? Biden was going to scuttle it like you did?
They had that election not been rigged and stolen, I will tell you right now, we would have no problems anywhere in the world.
No, that's where we are right now. By the way, he's back in office, and for the record, I don't know if you know this, we have no problems anywhere in the world.
Viktor Orban, he's a very tough guy and a very smart guy, and he's, some of the European countries don't like him because he's,
sure,
smart.
Makes sense.
And
because he's racist is what he means. That's what smart means to Trump.
They do things that aren't so smart. But he said, they said, what's happening? The whole world is blowing up now. The Middle East, and Russia, Ukraine. I mean, now all of a sudden, it's getting really bad over there. I'll tell you, the Russia, Ukraine, getting really bad.
Getting really bad. This was last year. Getting.
We could have World War III, and we have 2 people, her and him, and she's not as smart as Biden. Biden, believe it or not, and this is a very small group of people fit into this category, he's smarter than she is.
Sorry, there are only a few people who are smart in the world smarter than Kamala Harris? That's just what he said. That is what he just said. Listen to that again. She's not
as smart as...
She's not very smart.
Biden, believe it or not...
Believe it or not, Biden...
And this is a very small group of people.
Very small group of people.
Into this category. He's smarter than she is.
They're very, but I don't know why that wasn't news last year. I didn't. Maybe I didn't cover the whole thing. Maybe this was later in the interview when we just gave up on this horse shit. Good Lord. There are he just literally said there are very few people in the world that are smarter than Kamala Harris. Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
You have a problem. And even the 3 or 4 months left, that's a lot of months. That's a lot of time left. You could have World War III before I would take office, even if I
So
won.
let me ask you this.
This country the world is in grave danger. But you know what
Nah. Not really.
Viktor Orban said?
I don't know. He kissed your ass at some point. This wouldn't have happened if you were president.
He said, if Trump comes back in, everything's solved.
How'd that work out? Everything solved.
He said when he ran it, we had no wars, we had no problems.
Really? No wars, no problems. Nobody remember how he handled COVID? You just forgot?
Now, he used the term they were afraid of Trump. I don't want to use that term because it's like, but they were. They were afraid of me. They didn't know what the hell I was going to do. And
Neither did you.
that included Russia.
Still true.
Don't forget, they always said, oh, I'm so close to Putin. I had a good relationship with Putin. I had a good relationship with President Xi. But what did I do to Putin? I ended the pipeline going to Germany and all over Europe. The biggest
Congress did.
job they've ever had is the pipeline going all
Also, all we did was end the insurance on it. You didn't end it.
all over Europe.
You can't end it. Again, unless he's claiming that he blew it up.
I terminated it. Think of it. Do you think that's a good relationship? No. Putin said, I'd hate to see you if you were angry at us. You understand? But what did I do? First, earlier, and then you go, well, Trump was in the pocket of Russia. Trump was in the pocket. I ended the biggest job they've ever done, a job that made more money. Biden
By the way, when Germany had already shut it down,
comes in, and what does he do? He approves it. He lets it go forward. It was dead. It was never going to happen. And what else did he do? He took the Keystone pipeline, which
is Canadian shale oil going across our aquifers to get Canadian oil out.
was our pipeline, which should have been
It's not our pipeline.
approved.
Not our pipeline. It's a pipeline over our territory.
He terminated it just before construction was started.
They've lost credibility at this point. But with Iran, so here's one thing. The reason why I'm asking this, I lived in Iran almost.
Also, where's this Keystone pipeline now? Why didn't he jumpstart that shit as soon as he got in? Because all the red states were like, hey. You're like Wisconsin and like all those places, those red counties didn't want a pipeline going straight through their territory.
11 years, and I was,
Are you Iranian?
I was born Armenian, mother side, Assyrian, father side. You gave a shout out to Assyrians the other day in Arizona. It was great seeing Assyrians for Trump. But
yeah, it was great. And his response, because he totally understands the difference between Assyrians and Syrians.
I'm asking
You know
this.
why they were there? They were so nice. I met this. They said, the Assyrians, they said, could you give us a shout out? I said, who are you?
Genius.
I didn't know. They said, we're Assyrians. I said, what does that mean? But they were really nice people. And I said, I think I mispronounced it a little, but I said
You did. You got to write this down. But going back to Iran. So last topic on this.
Wait a minute. So he's just admitting that when he gave a shout out to the Syrians, he meant to give a shout out to the Assyrians. And, God. This is worse on review. Wait.
Just want to clear this up. So Qassem Soleimani, you take him out. That's their hero. That's their general pattern. When you take him out, they want to seek vengeance. So now, hey, they're targeting you. They're coming after you. Assassination attempts, all this stuff. They create these videos that they're going to come. We haven't forgotten that you took our hero out. Great. So Reagan, when Reagan got elected, remember they released, was it 59 prisoners who had been held hostage for 444 days, if I'm getting the numbers right. Can you see 59, 444 days? What's the number?
52 Americans, 444
days. Boom. The minute.
Yeah. Linked to Iran-Contra, was a deal that the Republican Party and Reagan's people, with the help of George H.W. Bush, negotiated, like, don't release them until we're in office so we can use that. They literally had those people held longer. They could have been released during Carter.
Inauguration, they released them, Khomeini, right? And it's like, oh, this guy's going to do something about it. This is my question for you. Say you win November 5th. Say it's a landslide.
Thank you for letting they asked ChatGPT even back then.
Say it's done, okay? From November 5th to your going back to putting your hand,
Inauguration
on the stage.
There you go.
During that time, that season.
Oh, yeah, that's the season. Must be the season of the witch.
What do you think is going to happen during that season? Is during that season Russia-Ukraine going to be done?
Oh, yeah. I think so. I mean, absolutely, right?
You think it's going to be that quickly? Or do you think it's going to be after?
I think the world's going to behave, and I think I will settle Russia, Ukraine while I'm president-elect.
Yeah, that more than... I don't know why they included this part. You know what I mean? They're talking about the Iran shit. They could have cut this before that. Couldn't they? Because, how about no?
While you're president-elect.
While I'm president-elect.
Wow.
Wow, that's totally not going to happen.
You need that credibility.
Sure.
Yeah, you do. You do. And if you don't have it, people are going to start pointing out that you're full of shit on a lot of other things. Ha!
While I'm president-elect, I will settle it. You know, I met with Zelensky the other day. I have good relationship with Putin and with Zelensky.
He didn't look too happy standing next to you, though.
Well, look, this is a war that should have never happened. You have millions of people that are dead, much more than you're reading about. You know, when you see these, I was amazed at how big.
This is like, he doesn't understand that they actually, that they're air raid sirens and shelters. So they tell people like, hey, there's a strike coming in, get the fuck out of the house. So he thinks everybody just stays there and hunkers down like a bunch of fucking Floridians who are going to ride out a hurricane.
In the real estate business, to put it mildly.
Sure.
So I know buildings. Those buildings were massive. You know, they were long rather than tall. They were...
That is, I mean, only an expert could tell you that.
12 to 15 stories. But they went like for blocks. They were massive buildings. Rockets were hitting the buildings. They were collapsing. A lot of people were killed. You hear 2 people were injured. No. Many people were killed. That war is much more deadly than they're telling you. It has
Also, he's talking about buildings where they had evacuated whole sections of the fucking city.
to be settled. But here's the problem. It should have never happened. If I were president, that war would have never happened. Putin
Yeah, but don't worry about it. It's going to end in the next 2 months.
would have never
A year ago.
done it. The war would have never happened.
You're saying...
Without even a settlement.
But you're saying...
It's going to end. All right.
After November 5th, as a president-elect...
Yeah, totally. I mean, it's amazing.
You're saying things are going to get done during that time?
I'd like
Yeah.
to be able
How
to
about
do
Iran and Israel? What about that one?
Well, that depends. A lot's happening right now.
I know
We're
it
going to have
is.
to see what
Right.
happens.
Okay.
He had just met with Netanyahu at Mar-a-Lago.
That one is a very interesting one. And it's become more interesting because
Yeah, that's how I would put it.
Israel didn't listen to Biden and her and did what they wanted to do. And they put themselves in a pretty strong position. I mean, let's face it. Who would have thought this was going to happen?
All right, gibberish. But what he's saying is that Biden and Harris were trying to get them to cool it, and Israel, specifically Netanyahu, said no and obliterated huge chunks of the Gaza Strip. And that's what Trump says it put them in a very strong position.
Everybody was very afraid of Iran. They're less afraid of Iran now. What they did to Hezbollah and Hamas, if you take a look at what's going on.
Nasrallah, they took everybody out. I mean, the pagers there.
No, the whole thing with the pagers.
Right.
It was from the pagers that, because those were your leaders. I mean, those were the leaders. It was like
That wasn't Hezbollah.
Thousand-
That was Hezbollah that they did with that.
Straight to the top.
3,000
And the
people
guy that replaced him, they
wiped out.
took him out as well. I mean, that was that, because
almost
nobody wants
like
that job. And I was like, hey, would you like this
the
job?
follow-
I'll pass. I don't want the job.
following
Right.
day.
Right.
So it's a different, it's a different story.
Vinny's got...
Jesus Christ. And by the way, what a difference a year makes. You're looking good, peanut butter dickhead. The sitting has served you well. This is why I do my show standing up. God damn. So that, I felt like they could have edited that a lot earlier in the clip, because ending on the part where they're saying like, yeah, I'm gonna totally get it done before I'm even sworn in. Like, I don't know. Okay, real quick, we're gonna jump over to where is it? There we go. This is I think one of the maggot guys. Yeah. This is Doug in exile. I'm sure he'll tell us a little thing. We'll stick on Iran for 1 second. Mass revolt in Iran.
A special announcement.
Sorry, I'm going to click on this. You won't believe what is now happening on the Iranian streets. Why? Happens about every 6 years.
Welcome to Doug in Exile. Come on in, my happy patriots. This is where we...
Oh, by the way, this is one of the dudes who said he was going to get shut down early on. Like all through the Biden years. He was like, for the entire term, he was like, they're going to shut me down any minute now.
Get happy together.
Why? Because freedom is alive, even in Iran. And the leftist media does not want to report to you because they're in bed with Islamic radicalism.
What?
The mainstream media. Where is Ayatollah BBC? Where is Sky News? Where is CNN? Where
I don't know. I think they're recovering it, actually.
are all these networks?
I don't fucking know. Oi. Hold on. Let's see. I'll go. CNN, Iran protests. Let's see. 4 days ago. And 2 days ago. And 1 day ago. And today. There we go. I think they're... well, here's, I don't know about BBC, but here's CNN. And here's CNN. This is the video on it. There you go, that they put up. This is, again, this is a couple days ago. This is also CNN. Protesters take to the streets across Iran on Friday. That would be, get out of here. That would be today. So I don't know. I think they're fucking, doing the fucking thing, isn't it? Where are they? Covering it?
In covering what's happening in Iran right now.
They're doing stories on it. They're bringing on people from Al Jazeera reporting on it as well. Hold on, wait. I don't know. Let's see. BBC Iran protests. Let's see. I mean, the guy's driving, so he probably shouldn't be Googling things right now. Let's see. BBC Iran Trump warns U.S. will try. Let's see. 22 hours ago, 6 killed in clashes between protesters and security forces in Iran. Obsessed. BBC first by images. Okay, among the footage. Let's see. Here's the Iran protest. BBC News. Here's 3 days ago. Let's see. Okay. So, let's go here. Close. This is them covering it. What he just said. This is 7 hours ago. This is same image that CNN had. Protests have been going on since Sunday, starting in Tehran. Pictured. There's the people protesting. Growing unrest in Iran. Sounds like they're reporting on it. Actually. Here you go. Iran. Here's stuff on the Iran protests. This is older stuff. This is just like when I was looking at the, when you click on a link and they just give you everything they covered previously. Okay, this is the 2022 ones. But this is 3 days ago. I'm not paying for the BBC just to check this dude's math. Why aren't they covering it right now? Oh, now go away, or I shall be forced to taunt you a second time.
Protests against a barbaric, evil, brutal regime in the Islamic Republic.
They despise freedom and real free women in Iran, including
I don't know,
Christians and people that are for free speech and for women that want to take off their hijabs. It is not being reported to you.
Yeah, it is. The fuck is he talking about? Okay, you can't be like, I don't even read that shit. I don't even, like, CNN's all propaganda. I'm not even going to look. And then tell me what they're not saying. Also, are you on your porch?
And I'm reporting it to you. I want to call my audience to pray for freedom in Iran, for moderate Muslims and the Christians there. And yeah,
But not for everybody, obviously.
anyone who is against that terrible regime.
So Iran today, 2 points I want to make about Iran, and it's really important. When we talk about Iran, I'm talking about the radical Shia clerics and not the people. The people of Iran are people.
Yeah, okay, State Department, regular stuff. We've seen this for a long time, okay?
Check this out. Iranian streets are filled up for the fourth day as freedom
It's practically the same fucking picture CNN has, dummy.
loving people around the world celebrate the new year. I'm asking you to take a few minutes today to pray for the people of Iran. If you see footage of them in the streets, do your best to confirm it and share it. People have
Oh, he's reading that okay, so he's literally, is there a stolen valor version of praying?
a hard time believing things without seeing evidence.
What? Like, there are uprisings like this in Iran all the time. I mean, you want them to be successful. It'd be better for the people of Iran if they weren't under this, but for fuck's sake, people know.
Current regime will do everything it can to prevent brave voices from being seen and heard.
Yeah, we know. It's Iran, dude.
This is why it's crucial for those of you who are willing to share what you can whenever you can.
Yes. Use your warm side of a bay window privilege to retweet this.
Here's the streets, I'm sure.
Yes, nobody is daring show the exact footage that CNN has been showing.
It's called like Green Revolution. The people that want the freedom, no hijab, they're against the Ayatollahs and all the religious radicals.
And of course, the price of groceries has gone up 40% in like 2 weeks, and they're facing one of the biggest water crises outside of the fucking Sahara.
And I think, frankly, we should be arming the dissent.
Good idea. Okay, sorry. So let me just be real clear here. The current maggot position is regime change in Iran good, and we should be funneling weapons to those people. Okay. That's always worked out in the past.
My view on it, Obama would never help the dissenters enough. Here's more.
Enough?
Breaking, the Islamic Republic have lost control
Well, it's from Tusi.
of every major city in Iran. This is Tusi TV official. We will go short.
Official. Okay, simmer down. Like, obviously Tusi does a lot of stuff. Do you guys know who Tusi TV is? Okay, hold on. I'll show you. Here he is. Okay, it's Tusi TV official. Latest, where is it? I'll try to find something on Iran. It's hard to find something. I don't know. Maybe he does live or something. Oh, yeah, that's what it was. He does a bunch of lives. Yeah. So here you go. So this is what he covers. This is like, I'll show you a little bit. This dun, news and live, and it's really news because I got a live show, and we are the media, Tusi TV, and that's the guy with the money and the things in the end and the stuff.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Tusi TV.
Yes, aka your living room. I get it. It's like, there's nothing wrong with being a live streamer, but simmer the fuck down, will you? Like, I get it. Just move on. It's hold on. Where was I? Which dipshit was I watching with this nonsense? Is it over here? This guy. All right, look. I guess this was it, or whatever. Where was he? Scheisse. Okay.
Welcome to Doug in Exile.
Yeah.
Come on in, my happy pig.
Yeah. So this apparently this guy is very impressed with Tusi TV, and this is yet another like maggot show where, look, if you're putting stuff up and you're criticizing it line by line like I do, which I think is reasonable, that's one thing. But if you're just playing other people's clips and going what he said, this is the same shitty programming I can get watching Jimmy Dore, and I don't want to watch that shit either. Yeah, Tootsie TV. I'm not the daughter of Glenn and Alma. No, I'm not. So, like, again, just fucking simmer down.
But is actively reinforced by the left.
I'm sorry, what are we actively reinforcing? I missed this. The danger of equating Islamism with Islamofascism.
Democrats and
The unholy alliance between the Western left and Islamism.
LGBTQ movement and Islamism. Moment number 540.
Also, where did he leave the LGBT movement in there? I guess it's understood. Never mind. You're just going to insert that. Whatever the gays are for, it's probably their own destruction.
The Western left and Islamism. Much of the West rightly recognizes Islamofascism as one of the great totalitarian threats of our time. Yet many who grasp that danger mistakenly equate Islamism, Islamofascism, with Islam itself, a race.
Well, maybe when you talk like that and you say Islamism and Islamofascism as those are kind of interchangeable, I think, right?
The immense diversity of Muslim thought and culture. The tragedy is that this conflation is not only made by the right, but is actively reinforced by the left.
What? Sorry. So we're the ones saying that, like, moderate Muslims deserve, the freedoms and protections of the world, and that Islamofascists and Islamists are the problem. I mean, most of the people who, are Muslims who are escaping those countries are trying to escape what's effectively the Islamofascism of a ruling party, or is the Islamism of forced indoctrination into orthodoxy that they may not want to be a part of. What the fuck?
For decades, the mainstream media, steeped in post-colonial guilt and Cold War reflexes that paint
and also ticks. I would watch out for Lyme disease with the trees behind you.
The West as the global villain, has treated Islamists as the authentic representatives of Muslims. Because Islamists position themselves as victims of Western imperialism, they fit perfectly into the left's favored oppressed versus oppressor narrative. Reformist or ex-Muslim voices, however,
which is also Marxism. So this is not, I'm against Islam in general, but that's not specifically what I'm against in this case. I'm against the Islamic.
Like, I am against Muslims completely, but I'm also against them because it kind of allows me to be against anyone who would want to protect the moderate ones, which this guy is defending.
Radicals, and we do have to make a difference between Islamic radicals and Muslims in general. Here's from
even though you hate both.
Dan Fremont. Also, no word from America's.
No word? Okay. Well, if you hear back, if you get weird from, maybe it's, I don't know, Portland, Austin.
Enemies, including the psychotic right. This is the Triple Alliance. The woke left has this hammer and sickle here. That's Ilhan Omar. Those.
Sure, yeah. I mean, what more do you need? Simple person, simple person, simple person, simple person.
Be the ones that say oppressor versus the oppressed. And that's why they're silent on this whole thing. Here's the Islam.
Silent on this whole thing.
Assists. They're in the middle here. And then over here on the right is the woke Reich with the Pepes and the Tucker Carlsons of the world. I'll get into more of that in a minute. Here's Tokyo Rosie.
Sorry. Just for the record, according to this maggot asshole, he hates AOC, but she's on par with Tucker Carlson. This is all working out very well.
The video on the left is of a woman in Iran throwing off her burqa in defiance of the oppressive Islamic theocracy in her country that treats women like second-class citizens with what?
Yeah, there's a difference between being forced to wear something and choosing to wear something. If you wear it because you want to, we don't have a problem with that in the West. It's the forcing of wearing it and the beatings that go with it that are the problem. That would be the distinction here. It's not the garment. It's someone else's religious observation being forced upon you. And just wrap that around your little Christo-fascist head.
Her hijab around, taking it off.
Yes, we've all seen this, and it's a good thing. But yeah, it's fine. Yeah. And then we check these people who are praying because they choose to.
Just to show why the totalitarians are finding so much help from the left. Here it is.
The totalitarians.
It's explained further by Erica Laban.
Against the regime. There's actually a very simple and clear answer, and you're going to understand it like that once I put it into a conceptual framework for
Fabulous. Do it.
you to make sense of.
I'm a big fan of conceptual frameworks.
Here's the tough pill to swallow.
Okay, I'll be the judge of that. Maybe can I have something fizzy? Helps it go down.
The reason that the mainstream media will not report on Iran is because the Islamic regime is their ally.
But they've been reporting on it.
Okay, their ally in what? Their ally in the war on the West.
But they are reporting on it, though. I've seen them report on it. What do you mean?
The war on the West was originally fought by the communists against the West. Now the baton has been passed to the Islamists. Now here's where it gets.
Oh, why? Why did it get passed? Because they lost? And do you think Islamists are trying to do the same thing? You think the Islamists are trying to take over the West so that they can impose a communal anti-capitalist message? Is that the idea?
Interesting. The Islamists are not alone in their war on the West. They're
Well, obviously not.
actually working with their allies who are internal. Okay?
So they've got a goblin inside them?
So the Western left are their allies. But it's not just the Western left anymore. There's now been a fusion between the woke left and the woke right. They've made a
shoehorn theory.
super pact, right? They are
Sorry, what am I talking about? Horseshoe theory. Shoehorn theory. What am I?
now
The woke right being Tucker Carlson,
Yep.
Candace
That's right. Candace Owens.
people on the right that are frankly anti-America. They're going, the whole system has failed, so we're against it. And they have
Is that their argument? That's interesting. I was a little on the nose.
a common enemy of
So the whole system has failed, but they still live here. Okay.
course of Christian dispensationalists that are pro-Israel.
Dispensationalists. Those are the worst. The crispy dispensationalists. You know what I mean? I like my dispensationalists extra crispy, for the record.
And Israel itself.
super woke.
Super woke. Here to make you feel afraid to say anything truthful, for fear that it might upset someone that doesn't see that truth as a truth. Super woke. My job is done here. I must move along. I'm sorry, does the word move upset you? All right.
The Islamists are in an alliance with the super woke to destroy the Western world.
And the super unwoke on the right, I guess.
Now you have the foundations. Let's talk about the role of mainstream media.
Okay, I'm ready. The ones that have been reporting on the Iranian stuff without reporting on it. Okay.
Mainstream media, okay, their responsibility in this war is to manage your perception, how you see the world. How you see the world is shaped by what you are exposed to.
Well, I don't know what you've been exposed to, but I'm not walking through that park ever again.
Therefore, the mainstream media is curating an alternative universe where you see exactly what they want you to see in accordance with this story that they're creating. What is that story?
I've been waiting. Fill me in, sister.
The story is that the West is the source of all evil, and the jihadists are actually just oppressed freedom fighters. So what happens? Let's put our thinking.
This was the same thing with the Black Panthers. Found
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
alliance with the Muslims. Remember?
Yes, I remember. Remember when the Black Panthers blew up the Twin Towers?
Cat Stevens converted to Islam, the singer of the Cats in the Cradle and the Silver Moon and Peace Train.
Silver Spoon.
They found a home with the socialists, but she's doing great. That's why I am against the woke mainstream media, and that's why I'm exposing the story.
Thank you for doing this. Yeah, by exposing the story, by playing other people's clips that are the same argument as yours, only even more confusing.
Showing you this story of the freedom fighters in Iran who are pro-West. Here's Goldie Gamari. Western politicians and police are bending over backwards to convince the masses that Islamic terrorism has nothing to do with religion. Meanwhile,
well, then why are you rooting for anybody in Iran?
In occupied Iran,
I guess maybe he thinks maybe all the people rising up are Christians in Iran. Is that what he believes?
Iranians are staging mass anti-Islam demonstrations to overthrow the Ayatollahs and get...
No. These aren't mass anti-Islam ones. They're like, they might be anti-Shia. They might be specifically against the Ayatollah's system. Doesn't mean they want to stop being Muslims.
Maybe
they do in some cases.
Of Sharia law. So these are the protesters against the Islamic religion being forced by them. Meanwhile, in America, you have...
They're against the Islamic religion being forced by them. They're their own worst enemies.
Universities, they're putting out Islamic prayer mats, speaking against the Jews, etc. In Iran.
Yeah, etc.
And
that's basically what, I mean, most American colleges right now, you show up, you're like, I'm here to get my engineering degree, and they hand you a prayer mat and tell you to say something bad about the Jews into a bullhorn before they let you into the building.
Taking down.
No, really, that's how it's all happening. I don't know if you know this, but if you don't, it's because the mainstream media has tricked you.
The flags, they're calling it the flag of the terrorist Islamic Republic while under fire. Let me show you this clip. This is the Islamic flag being taken down in Islam.
Well, it's the flag of the Republic of the Iranian under the Islamic regime. It's not the original flag of Iran.
Those are the protesters tearing it down.
Jave, look out!
And meanwhile, that same flag is being flown by Keir Starmer.
Yeah, I think you're right. That was Harry Chapin, by the way. It was one of those songs.
In the UK. Keir Starmer is protecting that flag that they're tearing down in Iran. Do you get it yet? The communists around the world, the leftists around the world. Here's breaking Tehran. This is from December 31st. This is just a while ago in Tehran. People are still out there protesting in full. Do not leave them alone. Be their voices and help.
Jesus Christ. Why? You want them all to fail, you weirdo. Hold on one second. Let me get back to the chat room. Yeah, the protesters aren't anti-Islam. They're anti the regime. Are we asking too much that these guys be able to get a grip on the reality of this situation? I mean, you have to understand, who is their leader? Donald Trump, who said he was going to, in the earlier clip, that Iran wants to make a deal and they were going to make a deal even though they had a deal, and he's the one who scuttled it. So I don't know why you would make a deal with the guy who broke the last deal you had. Makes zero sense, especially in 2 weeks, which was, I would think he would spend that 2 weeks working on his healthcare plan. But okay. Now, how much time? Okay. A lot has been made lately too about Trump's, and I'm sorry about the image here, but barf. This is just from a little bit ago. This is News Nation talking about Trump's health.
President Trump goes on the record defending his health and aging, saying his health is perfect. In a Wall Street Journal exclusive, the 79-year-old says he regrets getting a cardiovascular and abdominal scan back in October.
Oh, by the way, this is Dr. Drew was defending him, saying it wasn't an MRI, it was a CT scan or whatever. That's the White House shifting the story. He totally got an MRI. But they're like, oh shit, people are figuring out that's not good. So we'll just call it a CT scan. It sounds a lot more normal.
Saying, quote, "It's too bad I took it because it gave them a little ammunition." This comes after a series of images have been published by various media outlets showing the president appearing to be asleep during briefings, bruising on his hands, and swollen ankles. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt had this to say.
As for the bandages on the hand, we've also given you an explanation for that.
By the way, when she was saying this, she looked really upset. Like this, she's around him. She knows he's a fucking mess.
In the past.
And I think she's pregnant, so she's going to be leaving soon, and she cannot get out that door fast enough.
The president is literally constantly shaking hands. The
Literally, and you have a cold.
Oval Office is like Grand Central Terminal. He is meeting with more people than any of you even know about on a daily basis. He's all
Right, yeah, we know you don't share his visitor logs because we would be horrified to know the terrible nature of the people that he's hanging out with. Jesus Christ, we just found out that he invited Jeffrey Epstein to the fucking White House for New Year's in 2017.
So on a daily aspirin regimen, which is something his physical examinations has said in the past as well, which can contribute to that bruising that you see.
Joining me now is nephrologist, internist, and founder of Midtown Atlanta Nephrology, Dr. Frida Fisher. Dr. Frida, good morning.
She's a kidney doctor.
Morning.
Where do we even begin? Because you know we want to talk about these things that we see all the time. I find myself, even when I speak to you, I stand up a little bit straighter and pull the shoulders back because I feel like you're always assessing what we could do better. When we talk about the president, who is 79 years old, the oldest president to be sworn into office,
But he looks great. He doesn't look at all like hammered shit. Also, by the way, I should have done, I'm sorry, my bad. Yeah, not warning. This, sometimes I just get caught up and I forget, and my button stopped working. So I just wanted to warn you guys, just understand you're probably going to see a bunch of it, this clip, and other related clips, and if we see him again. So just, heads up.
Advanced age has been scrutinized. Is that fair, just like President Biden's was?
It's absolutely fair. President Trump is a leader of the free world. His physical and mental capabilities really
Or lack thereof.
determine the well-being of our nation and other nations. And so absolutely it is reasonable that we ask questions about obvious signs of potential declining health.
Are there signs of potential declining health, Dr. Frida, when we see the bruising on the hands? Is it simple as an explanation of shaking so many hands?
Well, I have to tell you, Nick, all presidents shake a lot of hands, but this
Look at the Band-Aids.
is the first president, in my recollection, where we're seeing this
Including Biden, who was older.
heavy, deep bruising. And the fact that he has covered it with makeup, covered it with bandaging. And when he was with Pam Bondi and she
This is grosser than the nut in some ways. I'm sorry.
accidentally nicked him with her ring, the fact that he started bleeding, this is abnormal. We know that he now shares that he's taking a lot of aspirin, more than
A lot.
his doctors recommend, because he wants nice thin blood pouring through his veins. But what's the reason? It feels like there is some type of an event or some type of a concern that's caused him to do this. And so still, this explanation is not making sense, and it's not making me, particularly feel reassured.
And Dr. Frida, where is the line between privacy, like say HIPAA, and him actually checking in on his health? Because he says he regrets having taken those scans, but I'm assuming, and please correct me if I'm wrong, that a doctor would only order that if you had concerns.
Absolutely. This is not a routine thing to do. What we're now learning was not an MRI, but it sounds more like a CT angiogram or some type of a test to assess if he has.
No, both. They're changing the languaging about it. Again, this has been a walk back. They're switching this to like, old man heart. We're just checking. He's great. He's perfect. But we're just checking his heart, not his fucking brain. Nonsense.
heart disease, there would be something that made the doctor think that it was necessary, be it shortness of breath, be it swelling in the ankles, and you want
Yeah, I've literally shown you guys the shortness of breath.
to make sure it's not congestive heart failure. Could he have had chest pain? Does he have high cholesterol? And I want to make a note, Nick. His current physician says that his imaging was completely normal of the heart and of the, the abdomen, the CAT scan was normal. But during President Trump's first term, it was noted that he had calcium. He had cardiac calcium, which is a sign of coronary artery disease. I find it highly unlikely in this man, Trump, who admittedly does not like to exercise. He just likes to do golf. He doesn't seem to have the best diet. He
eats shit.
At least living with being overweight, if not living with obesity. I find it hard to believe that he went from having coronary artery disease that we saw in the first term, and now all of a sudden he doesn't have it. My point is, there still seems to be a lack of transparency. And yes, the American people need to be concerned.
Dr. Frieda, I have about a minute left, but I do want to ask you about the falling asleep. I've fallen asleep. I listened to my EP and I'm like, would you stop talking? It happens to all of us there. He has fallen asleep sometimes during briefings. Is that a sign of concern?
Well, it could be that he's up all night and on Truth Social and that he just does not get enough sleep at night. The greater concern for me, Nick, is his explanation. He says that the photographers just happened to catch him while he's blinking. I just find that he didn't put a lot of intellectual effort into making an excuse, because it's not just photographers who caught him while he's quote unquote blinking. There have been videos of him clearly being asleep. And so his lack in judgment in explaining the sleepiness is a greater concern than him.
By the way, I like their chyron down here. Shit, you can't see because of my mic. Trump defends health as concerns grow and a bunch of pills.
Falling asleep. But yeah, yes, falling asleep when you're Asian can happen, but that in and of itself does not hugely concern me. It's the bleeding in the hands, it's the swelling of the ankles, it's the forgetting and sometimes saying words that aren't really words, and it's the lack of transparency.
You don't think they're going to introduce a fish at McDonald's?
In the President of the United States.
Thank you for watching. Oh, shut up. Yeah. So this is obviously something like this is breaking through on News Nation. They're covering it. So real quick, we got two questions. Let's see if I can find my Discord. Where is this? There you go. There we go. I had to restart my system because we blew a fuse again. We had two questions during the AI discussion this morning that we didn't get a chance to get to. Vincent Owen said, "Does AI care about nature?" AI doesn't care. That doesn't exist. It can reason about a good outcome for nature if that's what you ask, but it doesn't have the capacity for caring at all. It's just the wrong way to look at it. And the other one was, how many cars have AI in them already? Well, depending on how much you use your GPS, all of them. As far as the ones, anyone that has, some form of sensor and response, where if it says you need to take a nap, or it catches you texting, or if you cross a line, it bumps you back in, or whatever. There's a form of that in everything. Hal Sparks, who is Trump's nuntacologist? Honestly, I think it's Ted Nugent's wife. I'm fairly certain she's the one in charge of of maintenance of it. I don't know that they're treating it in any way. I just think she has to keep it in shape. But anyway, so this is Fox Business. Artificial intelligence takes schooling to the next level. Look at this fucking image. This is like, I don't know if this is even a Meta headset or a Vive. This looks like something that somebody puts their phone in. But this is, let's see what they say.
My next guest says AI is a revolutionary tool that will transform education and...
Oh, this is just fucking, they just got, I don't know, just filler video. They didn't film this.
Next generation. Joining me now, America First Policy Institute Chair of Education Opportunity.
Oh, dear.
Erica Donalds. Erica, thanks for coming in.
Education.
You're using AI to actually take kids out of the classroom, which is no small endeavor. Tell us about what drove you to pursue VR enhanced learning and what these kids are actually getting to experience.
Well, like most families, we needed school choice at a time. During COVID, we wanted to offer some high quality options. So parent demand is why we started this immersive learning company, Optima Ed, and the world's first virtual reality school, Optima Academy Online, where students can not just learn about ancient Rome, they can go there, they can go to the moon, they can be on the inside of a cell.
But virtually,
and instead of looking
right?
at a checkerboard of
No, really. Yeah, no, it's a teleportation machine, lady.
faces. Sorry?
But virtually, right?
Yeah. Yeah, we're not sending kids to the moon.
That's right. They can do it virtually either from home as a at-home learner or even in a classroom. They can all put on VR headsets and Magic School Bus style, they can learn from wherever they are learning about.
I love that idea. But aren't you, I mean, so many of us concerned with criticism of AI as a means for students to cheat? Isn't it even easier in a virtual classroom?
Well, that's why teachers and innovators are coming up with ways to combat cheating in AI, but
hitting the kids with rulers, I think, is the
instead use it to expand learning. For example, a teacher is having students write out their essay in front of them and then teaching the students how to ask AI, ask me questions about this topic to expand my learning. Using AI instead to foster creativity and bring better understanding as opposed to cheating.
The graphics are stunning. I feel like I'm being transported.
That's why we have to drive the use of AI and not let the students drive that use.
Right. I know one big concern out there, kids' AI habits are outpacing mom and dad, right? 7 and 10.
Yeah, the kids today with the technology and the parents don't know how to do it. I don't even understand how to operate my phone.
Teens, according to new numbers, use generative AI last.
Sorry, what kind? Genital AI? What? I don't know that that's a thing. Sorry. Back up.
But 83, according to new numbers, use genetics are outpacing mom and dad, right? 7 and 10 teens, according to new numbers, used generative AI last year, but
okay, she said genitive, not genital. Thank God.
83% of parents said schools had not addressed it. What kind of guardrails should parents and schools be considering at this point?
Well, schools like those here in Florida are already adopting policies that protect students. Data privacy is the first thing. Guardrails around filters, what is coming into the classroom if you're using a large language model. But better, creating small language models, subsets of data that students can interact with safely because we trust the information that.
Localized AI, exactly what I said. This is it will hurt my brain to watch any more of that. Okay, I want to show you this. This is James Carville, his new video is called "There Must Be a P-Tape." I'm only going to show a little bit of this because honestly, I don't think any of you know all of the colloquialisms.
And please, don't tell me there's not some version of
There's kind of a P-tape. That's like asking a raccoon to play hockey.
a P-tape, because you know there is. It's the only thing that can explain what we watch it. Remember, November of 2024. Remember, November of 2024.
Okay.
This is our version of Guy Fawkes Day. We're not going to forget it, and we're going to be motivated to never let that happen again.
Agreed.
Remember, November 2024. Well, New Year. I understand for many of us, myself included.
I feel like I'm on a Zoom call with a side character from an old Western.
2025 politically was a horrible year. And I'm not going to have to explain why. We all know why.
Because the country's run by Jeffrey Epstein's wingman?
News is I can report to you with a great deal of confidence, to the point of near certainty, that we're going to win the House of Representatives back. I happen to believe, not to the point of near certainty, but point of a lot of confidence that we're actually going to win the Senate.
Mm-hmm.
But we have this one issue that I want to talk to you about in 2026, and it's the only thing that counts. Nothing else counts.
Red district's purple, purple district's blue.
Ideology doesn't count. Gender doesn't count. Ethnicity doesn't count. Race doesn't count. Nothing else counts. Sexual orientation doesn't count. Nothing. We have one mission right now is we have to select the most electable Democrat that we can find.
In every environment that they're in. Yeah. If you got a great place that's accepting to a new group, then get somebody in there, shoehorn them in.
Understand that.
But anywhere else, you're going to have to pick the Democrat that can win that area. Yep.
We have, between now and Election Day of 2026, we have one singular mission.
Red district's purple, purple district's blue.
That is to win as many seats as we possibly can.
Yep.
And the worst, the Democrat that you agree with the least or you don't like is 100 times better than the best Republican.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you evaluate? You read up. We'll probably be coming back to you, making some recommendations of things, people that we feel are more electable as we get closer to primary days in some of these elections.
Mm-hmm.
But understand, the only thing you care about is who has the best chance to win the election. So find where there's contested primaries and see if you can discern which of the candidates are more electable in a general election. Now, if it's just some kind of D plus 20 seat, you don't give a shit. People vote, but if it's anything close, let me just take the United States Senate. You understand it's a 6-year term. It's a 6-year term.
Apparently it's a 6-year term. I've heard that.
States Senate seat is pure gold in politics. So whatever you do, wherever there are primaries, and there are quite a few of them around the country, just figure out, and like I say, I'll give you what I think as we go along, but it's your opinion. Figure out who it is, send them a check, support them, call friends, do whatever you can do. Because we need like really big majorities, and we need the Senate.
Yep, I'm glad James Carville, after all these years, is coming around to exactly what I've been saying this whole time. Okay, jumping over real quick. This surprises no one. Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hal Sparks Mega Worldwide. Tucker sounds like Jimmy Dore. Yes, you both sound like you were paid by Russia. And both of you were bullshitting. So yeah, all bullshit smells the same.
What you're doing is trying to divide the country. And I've lived through 50 years of this crap. All these fake race wars that they're always promoting.
We played this clip the other day, which is hilarious.
Oh, go hate each other while we loot the treasury. That's exactly what's going on. And most people are totally...
Yeah. Meanwhile, Jimmy supported Trump along with Kurt.
Really sick of that. So yes, there is a possibility for a huge coalition of decent people.
Nope. Dude, the people you're talking to are literally Christian nationalists. Now, neither of them give a shit about America. They don't like the Constitution and the protections it provides to people that they don't like. And they certainly don't like Christianity, but they love the label.
People, once they free their minds from the...
And the rest will follow.
Trap set for them by others and realize, wait a second, we all want to make this country better. And the...
Do they, though?
So we covered the AmFest that TPUSA, Charlie Kirk's organization, had their...
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's basically, it's your closest political ally.
AmFest, it was more like a wrestling show because Erica Kirk put it together instead of Charlie.
Ouch.
But Tucker gave a speech there, and we've already covered parts of it where he called out Ben Shapiro, but there was some much better parts to that speech. It was a great speech.
Yeah. Do you re-listen to it to go to sleep at night?
And here he is trying to bring people together, sounding a little like Jimmy Dore, trying to bring people together. Let's watch.
No. First of all, Jimmy Dore is not trying to bring people together. This is fucking ridiculous. He is yet another, air quotes, millionaire Marxist.
Most people agree with
who wants fighters.
That. Most Americans have more in common with each other than they disagree on. And almost everybody...
Who says that?
Not you.
Who do you know who says that?
Agrees on that. And almost everybody is willing to tolerate a good faith argument about how to get there. Except a few. And
sorry, does he think that... No, wait. I was about to say, does he think that Tucker Carlson is arguing for, say, Medicare for all of a sudden? But Jimmy doesn't even want that.
The ones running around calling everyone an anti-Semite. But everyone else is like, yeah, of course, that should be...
Actually, he doesn't want a public option because it might work and people won't go for Medicare for all. So we should make the system as intolerable, break as many people, impoverish as many people, harm as many people, so that we can get the utopia answer, as opposed to helping as many people along the ways and building our case for why there should be a government non-profit circumstance, like a program that's available to all that guarantees certain, inalienable healthcare rights. So life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness is something possible.
Debate, and they'll vote for you. They want that because they know they haven't had that.
Yeah, the audience at that place, listen how quiet they are.
That's the fact. And what you're watching...
I mean, he sounds like he's yelling in a fucking septic tank.
Now, attacking millions of Americans because they're Muslims? It's disgusting. And I'm a Christian. I'm not a Muslim. I know there's a lot of effort to claim I'm a secret jihadi. I'm not. You should not attack people on those grounds. And you're seeing it from Republicans. What the hell are you doing?
Jesus Christ. It sounds, it's crickets in there as he's saying this.
What you're doing is trying to divide the country. And I've lived through 50 years of this crap. All these fake race wars that they're always promoting.
You mean the Russians by running 8 of 10 of the most violent BLM accounts, let's say, online, and the corresponding maggot accounts that were attacking them?
Oh, go hate each other while we loot the treasury. That's exactly what's going on. And most people are totally sick of that. So, yes, there is a possibility for a huge coalition of decent people once they free their minds from the traps set for them by others and realize, wait a second, we all want to make this country better. And the 15% or 30% who don't, okay. Good luck.
You're standing in front of them.
Maryland or wherever you wind up. But the rest of us would like to fix it.
Now, I've been saying for a while that when the banks crashed our economy after deregulating themselves, they crashed our economy in 2008, and the bankers didn't miss their bonus checks, but Barack Obama did kick 5.1 million families out of their homes. Now, you go to...
Yeah, I think nothing says we're bringing people together like a statement like that. Barack Obama kicked 5 million people out of their homes, and the bankers deregulated themselves to the point where they collapsed the economy, and therefore, I guess in league with during the Bush administration, so that Barack Obama could willingly kick people out on the street or something.
So that's when the Occupy Wall Street started and the Tea Party started.
Yeah, both astroturfed out the ass.
And they were both organizing around hatred for Wall Street and the billionaire class who were screwing everybody. So what did the establishment do? They figured out we got to divide these people. We can't let them come together.
So they infiltrated. I blame Tim Pool, actually.
And that's when identity politics really took off.
Right. They tried to make the Occupy Wall Street people care about women's rights and gay rights and stuff like that because they knew it would divide them. That was the master plan. The master plan that he's saying took place was all of the social issues would divide Occupy Wall Street, would split up the Tea Party. I guess maybe he believes that the Tea Party and the Occupy Wall Street people were this close to, they were going to have a deal. They were this close to a deal. 2 more weeks and we would have had a deal. They fucking hated each other. The Tea Party people despise government support. The Occupy Wall Street people were trying to like infuse a new level of public support, of like government support for people, individuals who were harmed in it.
And you want to identify by your skin color instead of the character, the content of your character, which is
yeah. That's and people identifying as black or Hispanic or something like that, they were tricked into focusing on this by the powers that be.
the opposite of what Martin Luther King said. You want to identify by your sexuality. You want to identify with your ethnicity.
Well, there was at that time also a change in the law around LGBT rights, specifically about marriage. That was an unanswered legal, policy, governmental question that changed their lives. And especially post-AIDS, in sort of the aftermath and the waning years of the AIDS crisis, when people wanted to be with their partner and they couldn't be because they couldn't get married, that answering that very real legal protection for gay people is to him like, this is identity politics. No, you could argue that after the law is set, some people could stick to that as an identity politics idea. But during that time especially, that was a specific policy shift, a legal shift for equalizing protections under the law.
Every other thing except as an American with shared interests with each other. And so that's when they started to plant stories about white nationalists, and everything was racist and everything was sexist, and you got to worry about the Nazi next door.
What Jimmy's saying is don't worry about the Nazi next door. He's fine.
Remember all this, right? Well, I'm not making this up. This has been studied academically.
Sure. You know what? Take down the Tucker thing and show us the academic studies.
And they've showed that the increase in the corporate media of all those terms of pushing racism and dividing the country.
Or that the news carries terms that the public is talking about, and that actually drives the conversation in the news. And then it's a self-cycling process. As the people grow to care about it, the news starts to cover it, and there's a little bit of a catch-up on that, and then they try to work out the terms of it, and then that can cause backlash amongst different groups. And so there's a 2 steps forward, 1 step back aspect of any kind of social change. Ask anybody who was alive during the fucking civil rights era, dum-dum.
Exploded after Occupy Wall Street. And so that's them finding a way to divide us and conquer us.
Why? Why would that conquer you? Why would that divide you? What was the fucking divide? If the divide wasn't real, if it was imagined, then why would anybody pick it up?
So we don't come together around shared interests. And thank God for Tucker bringing this message to the Turning Point people. Now, you notice they're not cheering because this is not the room for that speech. Here is Blakely. I love Blakely. She says, I want to reserve a special holiday FU to every liberal and Democrat for letting Tucker Carlson be the one to call out Islamophobia.
What? First of all, they don't let liberals or Democrats speak at Turning Points USA. If it was ever going to be somebody to say it there, it was going to be a Republican, and they were going to catch shit for it, which he has. There were 2 extraordinary moments by Republicans. George W. Bush, talking about like Muslim Americans. John McCain defending Barack Obama against false accusations that he was effectively a jihadist. When have we not defended what?
Good for you, Blakely.
What the fuck? I think she's being ironic.
Good for you. Here is Jay Jones was the moderate, says you hate Democrats more than Republicans. Everybody knows this already. So that's the exact.
You hate Dems more than Republicans. Everybody knows this already. This is probably why the party is ignoring you. Oh, so he called her out for being full of shit.
What they do. They did the same thing to me. When I was calling out the Democrats, people call, "Oh, you hate that. You love Republic. You're a Republican. You're a Trumper. You're a that's the game they play." And she says,
"Why is it a game?" Here, I'll present it to you. It's a genuine criticism that you are harder on Democrats and more fictitiously harder on Democrats. You make shit up about the motivations of Democrats to defend Republicans, to defend Donald Trump, all during the election cycle. And, maybe it's just crass commercialism. You wouldn't be the first millionaire Marxist, like fucking Hamas Abi over there, to do exactly the same thing. Help Trump get elected because you know that as opposition media, you make more money, criticizing that side, but you're still soft on the fucker.
This is probably why the party is ignoring you, meaning the Democrats. She goes, checks out.
No. The Republicans, stupid. Not the Democrats.
His handle is...
Or maybe. I don't know either of these people, so I kind of don't give a shit.
@LiberalBoomer. Okay, so super checks out. Here's what some people... Why does Tucker parrot Justin Trudeau from 2016?
Right, when apparently no liberals said anything about it and whatever.
This is now conservatism. Diversity is our strength. Tucker, blackface Trudeau, Carlson. So that's how. So when Tucker says something unbelievably reasonable.
Right. You mean something that Democrats say all the time?
That's the pushback he gets.
Yeah, because he's doing it in the context of saying like Israel's behind Jeffrey Epstein and not Trump, because he's saying Israel's like the root of all evil, and they're linked with our CIA, and that basically our CIA is an agent of Mossad, and that's what makes what they do wrong, not what they've been ordered to do by Trump, like attack fucking Venezuela.
This is the pushback.
From Republicans. Gee, I wonder why they can't come together under certain issues. I don't know why they can't bridge that gap. He's just trying to bring people together. Maybe because they're fucking racists. Maybe because there is a difference.
Yes. So then someone says, yes, because Muslims are being shot in the street across the world right during their holiday. Oh, wait. So he's referring to this false flag attack in Israel.
False flag.
In Australia.
False flag, yeah. So the Jews that were shot, that was a false flag. Those two guys, one of which is alive, the other one's dead. That was set up. Those false flag, by the way, the people that were killed were not killed.
Says the genocidal Israel regime doesn't need to wait for a holiday. They murder Muslims daily. So I'm just showing you this to let you know that Tucker's actually got the right message.
Yeah, this sounds like Kumbaya to me. I just didn't know. I didn't know the second verse to Kumbaya. I don't think any of us do.
Messages, don't let them divide us.
Yes, it seems to be working.
Don't let them hate us because of someone's religion. Let's come together around shared ideas.
Right, like neo-capitalist socialism that it also includes forced submission by women and throwing gays off of rooftops, mixed with, it's just silly. You could just hear the right wing, little snaps going off in their heads. But
and this is what the people say.
And they can't have that.
They can't have that.
Who's they, motherfucker? Who's they? I thought the mainstream media was doing this. These are fucking Twitter accounts.